Ahoy, salty dogs. My name is Lenscap, and welcome to Project Titan. This is going to be a really fun series, I hope. It is going to be fun. It's going to be great. So, we are building a Titan, but Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither will be our Titan. So, we're going to start small and work our way up. Now, I've already got several ships constructed. Today, we're going to spend the episode taking a look at those ships and kind of determining what features we like, what features we don't like, if we need to make any changes to those. And I think we're going to start small and build our way up to this ultimate, like our ultimate goal of the series is to have a Titan that matches the rest of our ships. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's turn the HUD back on. And we're in flight mode now. So I figured we'd fly around in this core and take a look at our fleet. We've got a decent fleet so far. Let's start with this. This is my newest iteration of the cargo pod. Excuse me. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, you know that I dig the cargo pod idea. And this is my latest one. It's got a couple of features. There's like an indicator on the side that tells you how full it is based on a percentage. You got 3 green lights, an orange light, and a red light when it's full. So we've got that. The next ship is the Lockpick. So all of the ships are named after like various thief kind of stuff. Kind of sticking to a theme there. So this is called the Lockpick. This is basically it's our forklift. So this ship is designed to fit in the same dimensions as the cargo pods are, but it's also meant to like transport cargo pods from one place to another. So we'll use that. We'll utilize that pretty heavily with all of our cargo ships and transport ships. The next ship we can take a look at is our drone. This drone is not heavily utilized. This is actually the combat variant of the drone. You can see on the mining ship, we'll get to that one, has 8 of the mining variants. The difference is obviously one is for combat and one is for mining. So this is the drone. It doesn't have really like a thief name, actually. I think it's just called drone. But anyway, so the next one, this is the Bandit Class. This is our shuttle. This is my baseline. This is the first ship I designed in this kind of design philosophy with the sails and everything. And this is by far my favorite ship in the fleet. It's the smallest, it's the most simple, and it's my favorite. It's the first and the original. So this is the one all of the other ships kind of are designed off of. We're not going to go too much into like specifications of the ships, just kind of going to look at them and show off kind of what they look like to give you an introduction to the fleet right at first. We'll probably revisit each and every ship at some point or another during the series, so stay tuned if you're interested in any particular ship. Also, let me know in the comments about your favorite. Which one's your favorite? So this is the Prowler Class. This is the next largest ship in the fleet, and this ship kind of takes the role of our fighter, although I think we'll be building a different fighter as well, because this is a pretty specialized fighter. It has one large long-range missile, and that's basically its only weapon. Like it has an anti-missile turret, that's this, and it has a small cannon turret if it does get close range. But its role in the fleet is to kind of lurk in the shadows, and it's kind of like a sniper, so to speak. So we probably want to build like a closer range fighter at some point. The next ship in our fleet is, let's take a look at the mining ship next. This is another one of my favorites. This one is called the Pickpocket Class, and this is our mining ship. So it's got 8 drones for mining. Whoops. 8 drones for mining, and this ship has the cool the cool crossed sails in the back. I really dig that detail. I think that's so cool. I particularly think the sails, personally, are pretty awesome. It's like my calling card for this fleet, so the sails are crucial. This ship has a couple of other interesting features, in my opinion, so it's relatively ready for combat. It's a mining vessel first and foremost, for sure, but it's got some decent turrets on it. There are 6, I think. 6 of these turrets. They're not huge turrets, but they get the job done. For a miner, this can take out Eisens pretty easily. No problem. It's got something like 2, 4, 6, 8. It's got something like 10 anti-missile turrets on it as well. So it's ready for that. This is a heavily defended mining ship. So it's pretty good to go there. This ship features 2 docking bays on it, as well as the 8 drones. Now these are specialized docking bays, so they're both 9x9 by 17, which is the size of my cargo pods that I use, and a lot of people in StarMade have adopted as well. One of the bays is specifically for a cargo pod to use, and this ship will take the minerals or the asteroids or whatever, the planet parts that it extracts. It puts them in a temporary storage on the ship and then transfers them into the cargo pod. So it actually utilizes the cargo pod for its main storage. I don't have a cargo pod loaded into this vessel right now because I wanted to show off the bay where the cargo pod lives. But that's it. That's where the cargo pod goes. The second docking bay is for one of our Lockpick ships. So this ship is designed it can dock up to a station or even just float in space near a station, deploy its cargo pod, deploy its Lockpick class, and transfer cargo to and from as necessary. It's all self-contained. All of the engines are pretty thematic on these ships, so they all have similar kind of design philosophies. This is the larger version, and we'll probably have to end up making an even larger version. One thing I need to do to update these, though, these ships were built before the thruster plumes were a thing. So we need to kind of update that with some ice or whatever, so you can actually see the thruster plumes through that. So we'll probably be doing that pretty soon. So that's the larger. The smaller thrusters you can see here on the Bandit. So it's a similar kind of design philosophy. I guess we could get rid of this as the larger ones, obviously. And then there's a micro one that the drone has. Okay, the final ship in our fleet is this large one here. This is called the Bedlam Class, and it's a missile boat. So it is a missile. I guess you could say it's a frigate. I would call it frigate size. It's bigger than a fighter, but smaller than, say it's not capable of defending itself, so it's not a capital ship yet. So I guess frigate would be pretty accurate, given that. I am the least happy with this ship in our fleet, and I think we'll probably retire this design. By the time we end up with this, I just didn't like the way it turned out. We may just completely redesign it, but one thing I really like in this ship, though, is the bridge. And this was the first ship I experimented with the sails being at 45-degree angles like this, and I really dig that a lot. So we'll definitely have to keep that kind of design feature up. But let's take a look at the bridge of this ship, since that is my favorite part, and possibly the only redeeming part of this ship. Let me get my HUD back on so I can see stuff. And let's go check out the bridge of this thing. Can we align to it? I don't remember what my keys are. I had to redo all the key bindings and stuff pretty recently. So everything's weird. One thing I want to focus on is rail doors. I love rail doors, so I want them everywhere I can possibly have them. The ships we've looked at so far are generally too small for that. But this one, when we refit it, could probably do rail doors. Got a little viewing window here and a window into the guts of the ship. I'm not sure. That's kind of an interesting design feature, but I like it okay. This goes up to like a crew area, very small and sparse. That's basically it. This ship also features like a ship-wide red alert, which is cool. I haven't tested it though since I spawned this in, so it may not work. This is the captain's area quarters. Very simple viewing window. There we go. And that's the interior of this ship other than the bridge. So I want more interior, honestly. That's part of why I don't like this one. Okay, but here's the bridge, and here's what I like the most about this ship. So we've got this like holographic wall thing that's cool. There's obviously a captain's chair here. This was before we had consoles as well, so no consoles are integrated, but they should be. There's like this really neat view. You can see everything. You can see pretty much every direction from here. Light poles. We didn't have grates either, so this is what I was doing for ladders. If we climb up here, you can see there's a walkway that goes across and then 2 stations for other crew members. So they've got like a navigator and like a weapons guy, I guess. This button should be the red alert. Yeah, it still works. That's cool. So we've got ship-wide red alert here. And should be red pretty much, yeah, throughout the whole ship. So that's this one. None of the other ships really have much of an interior. But we can take a look quickly at them. Even the mining ship is basically the shuttle. It's this ship with a mining platform, with a mining cannon basically on the strap to the bottom of it. And the Prowler is this ship with a gun on the side. So they're all very similar. So this is the shuttle. It has a pilot and a co-pilot. Again, we didn't have consoles. There's a little bit of storage in here. If you look, there's like 4 storage blocks. We've got a transporter, though, and a little sofa. This can be outfitted to include more passengers or more cargo, depending on what you need. This shuttle does have a jump drive. I'm not so sure about jump drives in shuttles, honestly. But this one has one. You can kind of see it in the floor there. It has a pretty decent jump drive as well. Excuse me. But I like that about our shuttle. You know, it needs to be able to escape, in my opinion, if necessary, and get from place to place relatively quickly. We probably will gut all of these ships when they come out with a new power system, which is part of why I want to do this series. I'm excited for the new power system, and I think it's going to be really cool. The drones have literally no interior. It's all cargo space. We'll just quickly look through this one. The interior is basically the same in this ship. It's a little bit smaller, actually, and I guess there's more of like a living quarters. It's a little bit longer range, supposedly, than the shuttle is, so there's beds and whatnot in it. If we go over to the Pickpocket, I always forget the name of it. If we go over to the Pickpocket, we can quickly take a look at the interior of this ship as well. So it's got the same kind of like cockpit area. And then in the back, it's more similar to the Prowler than anything else. Kind of a mix of the two. You've got like a ladder kind of thing, 2 beds, and a little bit of storage. No kitchenette in this one. And gotta have your Y holes. I think that's a pretty decent tour for our ships that we have so far today. A little bit of a short episode. I just kind of wanted to introduce the series and give you guys an idea of what we want to do. The purpose of this series is going to be to not only build ourselves out an impressive combat capable fleet, but I also want to inspire you guys and give you some design ideas and also get ideas from you guys. I'm no master builder for sure, and I need all the help I can get. So any feedback you have on my ships, any ideas are always welcome. Feel free, leave me comments in the YouTube chat. There's a link to my Discord channel thing in the description as well. You can always hit me up on there. Add me on Steam if you want to. I'm pretty good about talking to people on Steam as long as I'm not recording something. And I think that'll do it for today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see you in the next episode. Stay tuned.